Welcome back, adventurers. We've just had the absolute worst kept secret release of the 82-minute and 48-second cinematic blockbuster, formerly known as New World Dev Update, October 2025, but among Discord circles known as the Nighthaven video. If you haven't had the chance to watch it yet, don't worry. I'm going to be bringing you all of the major plot points without giving away the twist. Plenty of time to grab your souvenir bucket of popcorn and ice-cold fizzy fluid of choice to curl up before watching it yourself. I've been playing since New World closed beta back in 2001, and this release, it's honestly the most ambitious, weirdest, and freshest feeling thing they've done. So let's break down everything. The new zone, the creatures, the factions, the systems, the raid, and of course, the loot. And look, I don't want you to waste your time watching this video. I'm going to give you my honest take on whether it's worth coming back for New World right now. With Nighthaven, New World isn't just quote-unquote back. Undoubtedly, you've seen that from other streamers and content creators, how New World is back. But the truth is, New World actually never went anywhere. But with Nighthaven, New World is now on top. So let's jump into it. So, first off, the new zone, Nighthaven. This is the biggest zone with the most POIs in the game. If Brimstone was bright and brutal, Nighthaven is dark and diabolical. It's the full horror vibe. Pine forests, fog creeping throughout, Gothic towers looking like vampire cathedrals, little Eastern European style villages dotted with apple orchards and pumpkin fields. Honestly, it looks like Witcher 3 and Castlevania decided to Netflix and chill during winter convergence, and Nighthaven is the consummation born on a Wednesday. The devs called it their love letter to horror, and that is something you can feel throughout the dev video. But what I think will really make Nighthaven stand out is going to be the newfound dev focus on verticality. They built the zone upward and downward, not just across the map. We saw the first licks of this new thinking in the new OPR map, the tower, and quite honestly, it was both refreshing and intriguing. The jump pads we found in Capture the Flag and the new OPR map will be found in the open world of Nighthaven. Above ground, there's towering castles with hidden rooms, brand new bookcase doors, and all that good Gothic bric-a-brac. Below ground, there's an underworld. Yep, a full-on underground lair, foggy caverns, submerged tunnels that we can now swim under. Yeah, guys, we are underwater swimming. There's invisible enemies, and there are spider caves. And they're disgusting. Ding, ding, spiders. Ding, bring a fire staff. If you liked Brimstone's deserts or Aeternum's haunted forests, this zone feels like the best of both, mashed together and dipped in cursed blood. All right, let's talk enemies, because Season 10 basically dropped a monster manual into the game. There's over 40 new creatures. There are full-on families with different mechanics and behavior. There's the Oupir. These are the vampires. Elegant, cruel, freakishly detailed. They have a hierarchy system too, and the weaker ones, known as the Thrall, can be eaten by stronger ones, known as the Oupir. They can do this mid-fight to power up. It's horrifying and awesome at the same time. Think Typhoon from Hive of Gorgons, but on a zone-wide scale. Then there's the Burlar, the Werebeast, werewolves, werebears, even wereravens that hover and swoop at you. They're not mindless. They're fighting more like humans than beasts. You're going to notice combos, heavy attacks, and there's even disease-based variants. These are beast-type creatures, so get those major wildlife combat trophies ready. This zone's corrupted are known as the Inquisitors. Think a holy army gone full pyromaniac. They've got clerics that heal, flame keepers with giant incense burners on their backs that they can use as weapons, and they fight like an organized unit. They can even rally each other mid-fight with something called Rampant Flame, unlocking stronger attacks as they fight together. Think corrupted priest from Invasions, but in the open world. Then we've got what they call the Ghastly Horrors, Undead Nightmare Fuel. These are definitely in the new raid, and it's pretty much all Haunted Mansion aesthetics. Headless Nagacasters, stitched abominations, and floating horrors. Finally, the wildlife's been upgraded too. Rats, foxes, reindeer, and of course, more spiders. You're going to run into the rabid variants. Beasts infected by some kind of Nighthaven plague. Nighthaven doesn't just have dangerous creatures, but it has dangerous threats to the already dangerous creatures to make them even more potent. The point is, this isn't just a new zone, new mobs type of patch. This feels like the biggest creature drop and update New World has done to date. And these creatures actually feel connected to the expanded world story. Let's briefly touch upon the story. There will be an expansion of the main story quest, what I like to call the Soul Warden Saga. Nighthaven isn't just monsters. It's also about politics. The zone is dropping you right into a three-way power struggle. The Upir, who are the Gothic vampire aristocrats who believe in hierarchy and bloodlines. The Burlar, primal werebeasts tied to Aeternum's angry earth magic. And the Grand Carnival, led by the fortune teller, Namuzu, and the mysterious Fortune Mother, who use tarot-based magic to manipulate fate itself. Each faction has its own agendas, colors, and personality. The Upir are all refinement and cruelty. Picture silk shirts and fangs. The Burlar are raw and feral. Carnival, imagine Venetian masks, illusions, and weird cosmic rituals. As for character highlights, we have Cecilia, a central Upir figure who's equal parts terrifying and tragic. Alexi, the vampire counterpart designed to mirror Cecilia, with shared history and conflict. Namuzu, the ringmaster of the carnival, full of secrets. The Fortune Mother, the key to the tarot system that runs through the zone. The devs have also teased returning characters, old faces tied into the new lore. Undoubtedly, I fully expect an appearance by Grace O'Malley. But they're keeping names under wraps. We know there are 4 MSQ bosses and 4 post-MSQ bosses in the zone. This isn't just fetching quests anymore. The story's branching, layered, full of betrayals. You're not just fighting monsters. You're going to feel like you're walking into someone else's centuries-old war. The question becomes, what side are you being drawn into? As we've already seen previously through the Soul Warden saga, at the Motherwell specifically, good or bad is determined less by action and more by point of view. Okay, so let's talk about what really matters here. Systems. Because Nighthaven doesn't just look new, it's going to play new. The devs are calling these things gimmicks, but honestly, they're just smart interactables that make the world feel alive. We've got falling chandeliers that you can shoot so you can crush enemies. Throwable torches that will burn away spider webs or rat nests. Jump pads to navigate massive towers. My personal favorite, the new turret locks. Remember the old ancient glyph system of Brimstone? This is the 2.0 version, and they've already been introduced at the website thereisaprice.com. Link in the description. You collect cards throughout the zone inspired by the 22 major arcana tarot. Use them to open special towers or elite chests hidden around the map. Now, beyond exploration, Nighthaven is also completely reworking progression and builds. You can now upgrade any 700 plus gear to 800 using the new Umbral system. Umbrals now have a weekly limit, and the goal is to be able to fully upgrade 5 pieces from 730 to 800 in a week. Gear score pieces that are starting higher means using less Umbrals, so you're able to upgrade more pieces within your weekly cap the higher the gear score starts at. No crafting benches required. This is a right-click, all done in a contextual menu. Every item can have up to 4 sockets for gems, perks, and new perk charms that let you customize stats like crazy. Super important aspect. 4 craft charm socket gear will only be available through M3 mutated expeditions. So all you sleeping dungeon dragons, because M3s have quite literally meant next to nothing up until this point in the game, awaken from your slumber. Get ready to roar to greatness for the potentially best loot in the game. Between the Umbral upgrades, socket flexibility, and turret systems, this might be the most player reward driven patch they've dropped yet. Speaking about rewards, let's talk about the new raid, the Isle of Night. This is the big one. The new 3-boss raid set on a ruined island shrouded in mist. You start at the docks, push through corrupted ruins, and seem to end at a fortress tower. Story-wise, you're fighting to recover the Spear of Lannis, a relic once guarded by a fallen civilization. Lost is the enemy type you are seeking, so if you haven't farmed your major Lost Combat trophies, the Mortician in Ebonscale awaits. Now let's talk bosses. Boss number 1, the Jester, Absolute Chaos. Huge boss arena. 3 interconnected areas, teleporting tricks, clones, illusions, basically team coordination hell. It's basically a puzzle boss meets a nightmare clown. Nighthaven has all the most terrifying phobias covered. Boss 2, not much info, but it's tied to the ghastly horror faction. So think undead knights and horror visuals straight out of Diablo. Boss 3, the final encounter ramps the difficulty to level 80. And the dev said it probably should have a skull above its head. Loot-wise, the raid has 3 themed drops per boss. Jewelry, armor, and weapons. Plus, there are some rare cosmetics, including 2 mounts, one being a spectral horse, and the second being a secret fan favorite drop that's still under wraps. It's not a hippo, we riot. And the best part, there's no more weekly raid cap. You can grind it as much as you want. Finally. If you're into replayability, the new Catacombs mode is probably the biggest sleeper hit of the update. It's a procedural dungeon system where every run is different. There are random room layouts, puzzles, locked gates, mini-bosses, even multiple branching paths. This is actually bigger than I ever imagined. There's a 30-minute timer, and it's designed for 3-player groups. You don't need a traditional tank healer DPS setup either. The new aspect system gives you buffs that can help you adapt your role mid-run. You can temporarily turn your mage into a semi-healer or your DPS into a tanky bruiser. You choose when to extract, and each boss kill adds risk, but also reward. It's got that roguelike vibe. Push your luck for more loot or bail before you wipe. Honestly, this is exactly what New World needed. A reason to keep running something without it feeling repetitive. With rewards that matter. This looks like it's going to be a blast, and is clearly one of the most highly anticipated aspects of the update. Nighthaven is really focused on endgame content, and the new endgame is all about build diversity and player control. There are gear drops with set bonuses that you can mix and match, like in Rage, which boosts your damage the longer you fight, but makes you take more damage from hits as well. This ebb and flow, risk and reward aspect of the new gearing will really give the game a new look. There will be infix perks that drastically modify gameplay, like triggering AoE pulls when you dodge, or gaining buffs for attacking with low HP. Artifacts have also been reworked. Their unique powers are now compatible with the new socket system. The devs said it best. They don't want a fixed meta. They want a fluid one. A sandbox of weird, viable builds instead of one perfect loadout. And honestly, considering the classless system of this game that it was founded upon, that's the best direction that they could have gone. Between the zone design, the raid, the catacombs, and the new progression, Nighthaven feels like the dark age of Aeternum, but in the absolute best possible way. So, should you come back for Season 10? If you've been burned by grindy systems before, yeah, this update fixes a lot of that. If you love exploration, horror vibes, and actual challenge, this is definitely the comeback patch. Nighthaven doesn't reinvent New World, but it's finally letting it be the dark, weird MMO it has always wanted to be. And trust me, once you see that moon hanging over those gothic towers, you'll know exactly what I mean. So let me know in the comments how you're feeling about Nighthaven and New World in general. Is New World back? Is it on top? What are you looking forward to the most? Be sure to smash that subscribe button for more Nighthaven content, and I will be streaming the game when the patch drops. While this dev video was 82 minutes, there are still tons of things to be discovered and unlocked. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, the corrupted continue to rise against our towns and settlements. So sign up to defend your territories during your invasion cycle. Good luck, have fun, kill 'em all.